it's Laura. Welcome to video number 14 in a series of 3,000. Everybody's joking about that, but really, I'm going to be here for 3,000 videos. Okay, now, remember I was getting no samples for a long time because I hadn't ordered any? Well, I did start ordering again, and I have some samples to show you today. So the first one is this tiny bottle of essential oils, and it is from a company called Essential Oil Health and More, and that's their website address too, just essentialoilhealthandmore.com. So what they did was ask me to put in like a condition that I'm suffering from, and they would send me the proper oil to take care of that. So this little oil here is supposed to help me if I put just a drop in something I'm drinking, or if I put some in my hands and just breathe it in, or even if I put some on my hands and rub it into my belly. It's supposed to help. So that's awesome. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm definitely going to. My second sample is actually for Chloe. It's from Little Caesar. And this is a very generous sample because there's 2 of those in here. So that's awesome. If you guys have little dogs, get online and order this. Okay. Now, today's topic of conversation is not really happy, but it is something that contributes to make me who I am, and I want you guys to really know me. So I'm going to tell you about a disease that I have that is really rare. Only 2 people in a million get it. So I hit the jackpot. Anyway, it's called CIDP, which stands for Chronic Inflammatory Demyelinating Polyneuropathy. I know, it's a whole lot of big words that don't mean crap to you. But the gist of what's happening to me is I'm losing feeling in my feet and in my hands, but yet at the same time, it's causing me a tremendous amount of pain because you have more than one kind of nerve. And so the neuropathy is very painful. I have fentanyl patches on me all the time. Plus, I have 2 kinds of pain medication that I take by mouth. And I know that eventually I will have to get a fentanyl pump placed inside of my body, in my abdomen, that will just release fentanyl drips all the time, 24 hours a day. So this first started about 7 or 8 years ago. I started getting, like in my toes, I started getting like a tingly feeling. Like, you know, if you sit on your foot and your foot falls asleep, but then when the blood starts coming back into it, it's like that tingly feeling. Well, that's what it felt like. I asked my doctor about it. He thought that probably I was low in vitamin D. So he did a blood test, and it wasn't that. And anyway, I had several tests done, and I could not find what the cause was. Finally, they sent me to a neurologist, and by the time I saw the neurologist, like those little pins and needles were like actual pins and needles. They hurt so bad. So I finally got on some medication for pain, and I had to go and have a biopsy done. So they opened up my leg. I have a scar about that big. And they took muscle out of there, and they took nerve out of there. So I found out a few weeks later that I do have this disease. And there's really not that much they can do to help you. There is a treatment called IVIG, and it's intravenous immunoglobulins. And for one treatment, it takes 10,000 blood donors. And they take the immunoglobulins out of the blood and make these treatments. So I went for the first treatment. I was okay. You have to do it 4 days in a row every month. So the first day I went, I was okay after the first day. The second day I went and I got really sick and the most painful headache that you can ever imagine. I got that, and we were in the car driving to the hospital, and I had the panda puking and everything. I was sick. Anyway, I got to the hospital. They got the neurologist in, and I found out that I had what's called aseptic meningitis, meaning I had meningitis, but it wasn't like bacterial. It wasn't because of bacteria or virus. It was because of this treatment. So because I had that, I'm never allowed to have the treatment again, which is sad because it was the only treatment that there is. So from here on out, I just have to be treated for the pain, and that's all they can do for me. So it moved from my toes in this 7 or 8 year period quite slowly to that it covered my whole foot, and then it's up about mid shin right now, so up halfway to my knee. But just a few months ago, it started in my fingers. And on Easter Sunday, I was cooking a big meal. And after I had cooked, I noticed I had a blister on one of my fingers, that I had burned the tips of one of my fingers, and I didn't even feel it. So that was like crazy, right? Like that you can do that and not even feel it. So I've been trying to be really careful ever since then, but I want to show you something. I burned the tip of a finger the other day, and I got a big blister, and then the blister itself started to go away, and it kind of peeled off, and now I have, let's take my Band-Aid off so I can show you this. Now I have kind of a hole on my finger, and I want anybody with a squeamish stomach to look away right now, because this isn't something you want to see. Okay, ready? So I have that on my finger, and I can't feel a thing. Nothing. Disgusting, right? I know. But I'm going to have to be so careful. Like I'm literally going to have to have oven mitts on when I'm in the kitchen at all times, because I can't be doing this to my fingers. Because if this were to get infected, I'm in big trouble. Okay, so I'm glad I was able to talk to you about that. I want you to know too that there is such a thing as diabetic neuropathy, and people who have diabetes can get this neuropathy too. I'm sure you've heard about diabetics having to get their toes cut off or their feet cut off, and that happens when you unknowingly hurt yourself and you end up with an infection, and things are really, really hard for you to heal when you have diabetes. I know, because I have diabetes. So this thing on my finger, it's going to be a long time healing. I'm soaking it in salt water. I'm putting antibiotic cream on it, and I'm going to do whatever I can. to avoid going on antibiotics again, because literally I'm on antibiotics 10 times a year with all this stuff. Okay, so sorry that was such a downer, but next video we'll try and make a happy video. You got to check out some more of my new cat ears. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys so much. I love all the support I'm getting from you. Thanks so much for everything. Bye.